RKKO.
Yes! This was my favorite segment of the night, hands down.
So Kevin Owens is backstage talking to Nick Aldis, who recently had surgery on his bicep or tricep, whatever it was. Still looking good though, so it's okay. And he still shows up, because he does his job. He doesn't have to be champion to show up. He still comes to show and do his job.
Who wouldn't show up to not do their job, Sarah?
I don't know. Never heard of her.
Not my Universal Champion.
No, that my heavyweight champion is Gunther. So anyway, Pretty Deadly decide they want to roll up, and I was like, "Thank you, boys, because I missed you." And they are complaining to Aldis about how there was a conspiracy against them because they are not going to Mania, and he needs to do something about it. Because, like, what the hell? And I'm like, "This is me. This is me. I just said Triple H hates them."
Yeah, I did listen to their complaint through your mouth. So
yes, that was
I kind of that was you. Okay.
So Kevin is there and he is not that enthused, but he says, "Okay, well, I'll give you a match next week with my partner. We'll wrestle you guys next week, and it will be Randy Orton." And that's when Randy just pops up out of nowhere, and that's when everyone starts being like, "Ah ha 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 ha," because Elton gets terrified of Randy just popping up out of nowhere. Randy agrees to be Kevin's partner, but also makes sure to compliment Elton on his jacket and says it looks like something his dad used to wear.
I did like that shout out. That was nice.
Yes.
I like we give a good Cowboy Bob Orton a shout out.
And so Pretty Deadly are standing there and they're still kind of just like, "Oh my God." And Nick Aldis kind of tries to tell them, like, "You might not want to stand like that." And that's when Kevin Owens comes out of nowhere and punches them in the face at the same time. So we're getting Pretty Deadly versus RKKO next week. And as a huge Pretty Deadly fan, I'm a little conflicted. I feel like that's just how it is with everything.
They could sneak a win, though.
Because this is the thing. Who needs the win? Pretty Deadly needs to win. We don't need to see Kevin Owens and Randy Orton being BFFs before they face off for the U.S. title. Like, we don't need that to happen. Like, that could be a way to set up that they have issues with each other before the match, because, like, that's more to me, that's a little bit more interesting that they're more on edge with each other, like, going into the match. Like, maybe it was an accident that something happens and that's how Pretty Deadly win, but it's still, like, planting the seeds of them not going against Logan Paul as buddies, because I'm like, come on, guys, the way that they brought up Pretty Deadly and the way that they were booking them at first was so good, and it's just gone downhill since then. Basically, since they brought them back once Elton was fine after Ridge hurt him, I feel like they don't do anything with them, and it's like, but it's a segment like this that proves why you should be.
Absolutely.
And why they shouldn't be jobbers also.
Yeah. No, they were really good in that segment. Like, they were so funny. Like, that, it was perfect. And to be put with a guy like Kevin Owens, who only enhances your hilarity, it was perfect. Like, the end when he punches both of them, he goes, "Randy, I did it again. See, I did." Like, and the way they sold it, like, just incredible. Yes, there's what I was gonna say.
And I don't even care.
Don't even care.
If that's how it happens, then I'm all for it, because they deserve it. Okay. I know it's not necessarily a common opinion, but
yes, boy! Yes, boy! Yes, boy! Yes, boy! Yes, boy! Yes, boy!
Yes, boy.
Oh my God, I hear the nails tapping. Vinny, what are you doing? You can't, like, listen, I was on the page. I was like, all right, they're just like another tag team, whatever. But then, like, if you watch their stuff and you realize that it's so creative and they pay attention to, like, the littlest of details, which is why their stuff is so good. And their heel work in the ring, like how they win matches, how they team together, like, they are very good. And it's like, oh shit, maybe I'm not as obsessed as the Best of the West over there, but, like, I'm a fan. Because if you actually look at them as a legit tag team and all this, like, no, they have potential. They could be champions. Like, them as champions would be hilarious in the fact that, and not in the joking hilarious, but, like, it'd be awesome because then they would bring such a different element to the tag team championship that we have not seen since, like, Edge and Christian.
Well, and I always say that you guys, if you don't like them, that's fine. But I do think that you should watch their time in NXT.
Respect them.
Well, but watch them in NXT because like you're not really getting a good look at what they can do on SmackDown. So, but they were hilarious and they were like some of the top guys in NXT. So,